Alright, part 2, where I diagnosed the no tachometer signal whatsoever. I have pulled the cluster from this 1986 Civic Si, and I'm going to take this apart and see if I find any problems. If not, I'm going to have to try to find a new cluster. To remove the cluster, you're going to want to take a screw out here, and pop off some tiny little covers. And then on the back here, there are 2 more screws and covers. So you're going to want to pop those off and use a short Phillips. Once you get this off, you're going to want to just take out this screw, this screw, this screw, and this screw that hold the cluster in, then unplug the wiring harness and this speedometer cable. So the signal wire comes off the distributor, comes up over here and goes to the coil right here. You can see it's that blue wire. The problem is if I disconnect this to try to test it to see if I'm getting a good signal from the tach, the car will die. So what I'm going to do is go test it on the inside of the car on the harness for the cluster. Okay, so I got my meter. I'm going to set this to hertz right here, and that should measure the frequency. What I'm going to look for is a blue wire on this harness somewhere that has a frequency that responds to my throttle input. Now we're just going to take the black wire and put it on ground, and it looks like there's a blue wire on here. I'm not sure if that's a tach wire. Let's find out. Getting nothing. Okay, so maybe there's a blue wire on here. Looks like this one right here. Oh, getting some hertz here, some frequency. All right, so looks like it's running around between, it's hard to tell, that the tachometer in the cluster will obviously change this, but what I'm going to look for is if I stab the throttle, I want to see this number go up. Oh yeah, alright, so that's the tach signal, so the signal is getting to the cluster fine, so something is definitely wrong with the cluster. Alright, so here's the cluster. What I want to do is see if there's anything burnt or a bad solder joint or something. It looks like this is a flexible circuit board, and I'm not seeing any obvious signs of damage, so what I want to do is kind of get behind the tachometer and see if I see anything goofy. I think I'm going to start by trying to pry off this white cover. I don't know what I'm doing here, so we'll just sort of see what happens. I don't know what this little board does, but we're just going to take a peek in here and see if we see anything funky. Don't see anything funky. Looks pretty good. That's a little funky. Look at that. Weird. Alright, so I'm just going to take a guess and take out these 2 Phillips screws right here on the back of the tach. Maybe the tachometer will fall out once I do that. I have no idea. Just gonna pull this board off so it isn't flopping around. Okay, tachometer is loose. What do we got? Why are you not working? I'm not seeing any obvious signs of damage, which sucks. Because if I don't see anything damaged, I'm just going to have to get a new cluster. After looking at the connector that comes into the cluster, this right here is the signal for the tachometer, and it goes down, around, straight down this way, around this way, around here, over to here, and in, right there. So this must be the input for the tachometer. Let's see what's on the other side of that. So this is the tachometer board. So what I'm going to do is take out these 2 screws on the back and drop this tachometer board out the front and see if we see anything else. If I still don't see anything, it's time for a new cluster. I mean, everything looks mint on this. I don't know. There's not really any corrosion on this car, so I'm not seeing any cracked solder joints. And I don't see any capacitors or signs of
failure on any of the electrical components. So it looks like it might be time for a new cluster, which sucks. To be continued. Alright, so it's been a week. I bought a new cluster on eBay, so that's pretty cool. We're gonna see if the tach works right now and go plug this puppy in. And if it does work, then I'm gonna need to swap things over, because one thing I noticed was that the regular Civic has a white font, but the SI has this orange font, and I think keeping that is important to this car. Personally, I like the white a little better, but I don't know. There aren't many SIs, so might as well keep it kind of legit. Okay, so theoretically the tach should just work. I plugged it in, fingers crossed. If it doesn't work, I don't know what the hell is wrong with this thing, because it's getting a tach signal, so let's find out. What? Still no tach. Damn it. Ah! Alright, well, I'm giving up for now. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me fail at trying to fix this tach problem. If anyone has any ideas, I am all ears. It's obviously not the igniter. I believe the signal is getting to the tach, because I checked that, and I don't know. Alright, cheers.